So it's been a while since I've made a video staying here and talking with you guys. But yeah, from Microsoft not caring about Windows, me switching to Android. I always used Android and a lot of people switched to Android. There are a lot of comments, people saying that, oh, I switched to Android. I still want to have the feeling of using a Windows phone. Keep making videos showing us Windows users on how to adapt to Android and stuff like that. But here is an interesting fact that happened like a few days ago. Back in like 2014, when Microsoft was still going good with Windows. At that time it was making Windows 10, was about to release it, and the Lumia 640 XL was launched. My brother saw the device and wanted to buy one, so he asked me if it's a good device. He wants to buy it for work, and he wants it, of course, to use it for a few years because, well, it was a cheap device. If you let the device fall to the ground, then nothing will happen, which happened that as well with him. That device fell so many times on the ground and nothing happened. So that's a device that worked and still works. But a friend of him who works at a mobile store told him that Microsoft sold Nokia, and now Microsoft quit completely Windows, and he's not gonna get more updates on Windows. He uses a lot Viber, for example. Now if he uninstalls Viber, he will not be able to install it again and stuff like that. So when he told me that, I was like, whoa, what the fuck did that guy told you? And that's what I want to talk with you guys. The support on Windows. How is the support on Windows so far, and for how long it will still be? Well, Microsoft said that it will support Windows phones until 2019, so it will give security updates to Windows and maybe some small improvements, but it will be until 2019, which that means you have only the next year, 2018. As for today, as for the moment, you can still use your phone as you used it back in the days. You can still download the apps that you wanted. You'll be able to download them in the future, even when Microsoft quits Windows, like in 2019, when the support will be over. The store will still work, you will still be able to download the apps. So it's like BlackBerry phones. I never had the BlackBerry, so can't really give my opinion so much in BlackBerries, but it's kind of the same idea. BlackBerry kind of died today, their OS died, but you can still go into the store, download the apps that they have. There might not be many apps, but you can still download the apps. WhatsApp might drop support for BlackBerry, or it dropped support already, but downloading stuff from the store, you can still do it. And on Windows it's kind of the same, it's the same idea. So this kind of disinformation is known coming from people working at mobile stores. Even back in the days when Windows was going good, I've noticed a lot of people that work at mobile stores. Like someone goes into the mobile store and says, oh well, I want to buy a device, sees a Lumia and sees an Android, and well, he might like the Lumia more because maybe the price is better and stuff like that. But the guy who works at the mobile store, he will tell you, oh, don't buy Windows, buy Android. Windows is crap, and there are no apps and stuff like that, etc. At some point, it's true, Windows, even back in the days, didn't have as many apps as Android, but then it changes from people to people. For example, me, I use more apps. My brother doesn't use so many apps, so for him, Windows is a good fit. So even if he bought an Android, so yeah, this is one point that why Microsoft failed with Windows. People working at mobile stores, they would not recommend Windows phones. If you have an Android with version like 2.6 Gingerbread, or what's the name back in the days, it's an old version, you can still use the Play Store, you can still download apps. But yes, there are some apps that require the latest Android versions, but there are apps that don't require the latest Android version. So those apps, you can still download them, you can still use the Play Store even though those versions are old. For example, on my Huawei I have Android 6.0, and there are apps that I can't install because it requires Android 7.0. When Android 8.0 will come, it will be the same story with devices with Android 7.0 and so on. There are still apps that don't have those requirements. But yeah, this information was always there and will always be. But yeah, that's why I'm here to talk with you guys, because this was really an interesting topic when he told me that information. When my brother told me that information, I was like, what? From where did you get that information? Like, yes, Microsoft sold Nokia, Microsoft is quitting Windows, we can see that Microsoft is making more apps to Android, more apps to iPhones. to iOS, because overall Microsoft is a software company. But even though Microsoft stopped making Lumias, it didn't stop the whole OS. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments what you think about this whole updates, OS updates, even on Android, even on Windows, and even on iOS, even though I didn't really use iOS's. But yeah, there is and there will always be like devices left behind with older versions, and there will always be like newer apps that require always the latest OS versions. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.